Hello everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're all having a very lovely day and you're ready to learn with me today in my video of how to play a sideways ranging market where it just seems to be going up or down, but you can still make some very nice profits from this sideways market. And with that, I'm going to also be going over how I think the end of this sideways market will be coming from this ETF decision on the 23rd of August. So 2 days time, okay? In 2 days, we will be seeing a very big move up or down, and it's very dependent on this ETF proposal. It cannot be delayed, so the decision will be the 23rd. So keep your eyes very peeled for this SEC decision. In my opinion, it shouldn't be such a big catalyst of whether we're going to be having a bear or bull market, but that's how the market is. In my opinion, why I say that is because this ProShares ETF is not even physically backed, meaning if it is approved and people are wanting to invest via the ProShares ETF, ProShares won't actually be buying Bitcoin, so it shouldn't even affect the market that much in like price movement if it's accepted. Whereas on the 30th of September, this ETF is such, in my opinion, bigger because it's physically backed, meaning the investors would actually be buying Bitcoin, so it would have a big impact on price. But with that said, I mean, the market has just put so much emphasis on this ETF decision, and it also, you can just see with how tight the Bollinger Bands are, there's very much indecision at the moment. People aren't knowing whether to buy or wait. And I'm pretty sure with this decision, we're going to be getting our answer. With a approval, we're going to be moving up surely, and with a denial, we'll be moving down, in my opinion. So with that said, I want to show you all today how you can play a sideways market. So I'm going to be going over MACD, RSI, and candlestick patterns with the emphasis on candlestick patterns here. So we're going to be going through on, this is just literally over the last week. Here we are now. And we're going to be playing it as if we can't see anything, and we're just playing it live, okay? So just ignore everything that's ahead. And so here we had our really big move down, and we're going to be playing like smart traders. Smart traders don't try and catch knives unless you've got very big cojones. So here we have our very big move down, and we're not catching our knife. We're waiting for confirmation, and with confirmation we're going to be having an informed trade and a smart trade. So here we had our move down. You could have been trying to catch knives here, could have tried to catch a knife here, but you've had no confirmation and you'd have got the move down and getting punished again. So here we've had our move down and we're starting to move sideways. And now we can start to see some confirmation on where we should be buying in. And in my opinion, it's here. So here we are on the 4-hour chart, just so you know. This theory can be used across more hours or smaller time frames or larger time frames, but 4 hours on smaller time frames, you're going to be a lot less inconsistent, whereas the 4 hours is a very nice chart to be looking at. So here we start getting upticks on the histogram of the MACD. So this shows that there's some buying pressure coming in at this level. So this is a very nice signal that you can be looking at. And also on this Stoch RSI, here we have a bullish cross of the Stoch RSI. So we have our bullish cross here of the Stoch RSI. The RSI is moving up, as you see here, staying more or less on the same level, but we're starting to move up a little bit on RSI. But the main thing here is on the histogram of the MACD, we're getting a nice upticks here. Obviously the cross came a little late because this is a lagging indicator, but the upticks of the histogram, very nice. And that couped with here, for my reason why I'd be thinking now is a good time to open a position with the uptick of the MACD, the Stoch RSI getting a bullish cross, and here we see our first inverted hammer. So the inverted hammer is a bullish candlestick, although I'd have liked it to have closed green. It's like worth it for me to be opening along on this. No, it's not a perfect inverted hammer. With the RSI and MACD combined, I would be opening along here on the inverted hammer. Obviously the inverted hammer here is followed by a spinning top, which is a neutral pattern, a neutral candlestick, so it shows indecision, but we're still moving up nicely here, and with the same we get our move upwards. So here would be moving up, we would be selling. It's very hard for the first move up to be to know where to take profit. So I would always be on the first move up, just be scaling out maybe every 1%, 2%, just scaling out of my position. Although previously 6,600 has been a heavy resistance in the past, so you should mentally have this noted as a resistance level. Or obviously have it drawn on your chart as obviously this 6,600 being a resistance from the past. So let's say you're from here, you're all out of your position, and you're now looking again to know whether to go open a position to go long or short. Let's just say by going by the candlestick patterns, because this is how I really want to teach you guys. So we're moving along, we're out of the position, we've sold for a nice profit. Let's go along and see how much we've made. Let's say we're not closing right at the top, but here we're saying to make about 4.7% profit. And we're moving along, so we're not opening the position here, we're not opening the position, we're not opening the position, and here we see our first bearish candlestick, which is a hanging man, very bearish candlestick. Okay, this is a hanging man candlestick and it's very bearish, so we could be opening our short from seeing this very bearish hanging man candlestick. Although you would like to see it right at the top of a move, it's still a bearish candlestick, and enough reason to be looking to open a short position here. So here we get our hanging man, and although perfectly you'd want to see it right at the top and see your hanging man here, but we're seeing it a little bit lagging afterwards, and we're seeing our hanging man here, and here we obviously get our move downwards. And you could be closing your position or taking profit at least on the old support level around here. So obviously the bottom support would have been here, so you would be taking your profits around here. And as you see, the move down happened a bit more, but you've been very safe taking profits around this region. And with that said, we're moving along again, and we're trying to see another reason to either buy back in or go short again. So we're moving along, and would you see here we have another inverted hammer. This is this green one here, inverted hammer, bullish candlestick, very similar to what we saw here, although better because it's green. And with our bullish inverted hammer, we're followed by a doji candle, which is a neutral candle, showing indecision, but we're going long from our inverted hammer here. And would you see we have got a big move up again. So we've got a big move up, unfortunately not really reaching resistance. So here you're looking at moving averages as well. We can see that the 26 exponential moving average is always have resistance, so you can always use a mixture of things in your technical analysis. I'm going to actually hide all these, so we're just looking at candlesticks here. But honestly, you'd have got in on a long position and you're in profit, but it's very hard for you to know where to be taking your profits on the move up. Really, yeah, you'd want to be looking at exponential moving averages, because we obviously don't reach resistance, and you'd want to be looking at the averages, maybe even taking some on the here the 8 and here the 12, then 26. With that said, I'm going to hide those again, and we're going to be moving along and looking for our next candlestick pattern of where we would be opening our position. So we're selling here again in some profit, and we're moving sideways. Here we have our very big spinning top, showing indecision again. We're moving along, and here we finally get to our first shooting star. Here is a shooting star pattern. This is a candlestick pattern that's very bearish. So a bearish shooting star here, where the buyers have tried to buy up, but they've got rejected by the bears, and they've been brought right back down with this very big wick at the top. And you would be opening a short position on this shooting star, and with the same, we had a very heavy move down. Here we moved down actually. So say you're opening it from seeing this shooting star, you'd have seen the shooting star, and you'd have got yourself about 8% profit, playing it down to the support. And you see how well you're playing the old supports was here. This was a heavy support from back a month ago, and it closed right on support for a nice like 9% move down. That was just like, would have been a perfect, just seeing this candle, this shooting star here, opening a short, wow, and closing right on support, just like perfect. It would have been a perfect play. And here again, we're moving along, And here again, would you see this is the third time we've seen it now, our inverted hammer. This one right here, inverted hammer. Third time we've seen this, and it's worked out twice in the past for us, hasn't it? So we've seen our inverted hammer again, we're opening along, and we got our move up. And if you see, although I would be taking profits obviously on the exponential moving averages, maybe you're taking like 10% on each moving average. With your target, obviously you'd always have your main target at resistance, but you're taking profit on the move up to protect yourself. So we're hiding those again, and the move up, we start a bit of consolidation around here, and then we get our move up and we touch resistance again, so we're exiting our position with our nice profit again. So obviously here we had our 9% move down. Here from our inverted hammer, we got a 10% move up. So as you can see, this sideways market, we're just looking at candlesticks, we're making some nice profits here. So we've closed out of our position and we're moving along. Here we got our spinning top again, hitting support, spinning top, indecision. We're moving along, Inverted hammer could be well, it's kind of this body is not really big enough. You'd have to be looking here. Could you call this a spinning top, or could you call this an inverted hammer? Got the down ticking here on the histogram, which is obviously bearish, down ticking. We've got our Stoch RSI in overbought areas. So you need to be looking at all of this. Obviously here, when we had our inverted hammer, we've got our bullish cross here on this Stoch RSI. We've got the upticks here on the MACD. So again, that just proves, using all three together, how you can be losing that to buy in. Inverted hammer, Stoch RSI going upwards, and our upticking on the histogram. Right, let's get back into this. So here, that would have been a perfect sign. Here we're getting indecision, wouldn't be opening anything. Just looking at this, no, nothing really here. So obviously here we've had our move down, and here this candle is called a hammer. So here we have our inverted hammer, and this is just a hammer. So we've got our move down, we've seen our hammer. That's enough reason to open a long. Let's open our long position. That's just out of interest, although this is a really bullish candlestick. Let's see what was happening on our MACD. So we have our hammer. We're actually going down on the MACD here, and the where were we looking? So I'm lost. Where were we? Right here. So yeah, we're moving down on the MACD. Our RSI is going down. So bullish candlestick, but you're getting negative signals from the MACD and the RSI. So maybe you could enter a small position depending on your risk. You could be entering a small long. It's not really worth it if you're not getting enough confirmation from your other indicators. Be totally your decision. I probably actually wouldn't enter here. I'd not have enough confirmation for me to enter a trade, but it is a bullish candlestick, just so you know. So here we got our hammer, and then we're moving in sideways. Here we have our again inverted hammer, but yeah, so we got an inverted hammer here with the Stoch RSI looking bullish, MACD histogram upticking. So we could enter a position here. Obviously we don't really get very high up, and this, let's put our Bollinger Bands back on, is where things are becoming very tight. If you look at the exponential moving averages, everything is just so tight around here. This just means there's a lot of indecision right now. The Bollinger Bands are so tight. We've not seen them this tight in a very long time. The tighter the Bollinger Band, the less indecision, the less volatility there is. And when they're becoming so tight like they are here, it means that there's a big move coming. So when you see the Bollinger Bands tightening up, especially on the higher time frames, it just means get ready for a big movement. There is going to be volatility coming. Obviously, like I was saying earlier, this just fits in nicely with this decision on the 23rd, how we're moving so tight with indecision. Here we're forming another spinning top candle currently with another hour left to go. Most likely we're forming a spinning top, just shows indecision again. People aren't knowing whether to long or short. So I expect us to move sideways actually until 2 more days, where we reach the 23rd. And although I'm going to be keeping my eye on this, I'm going to be staying up to see how this plays out. But yeah, I am expecting more or less sideways movements till the 23rd, and that's when we'll be getting our decision. And I just want to say, I personally think it will be denied, and I think the majority of the market thinks it will be denied. But even with a denial, we're going down. I'm sure of it. Maybe we will bounce off 5,800. It's possible. If it does, that's still that's bullish. That this support would still hold with the news being set with the bearish news. But I expect a lot of selling pressure. And if this support holds, it'll be crazy. So yeah, with just keep an eye on this date, man. And also I want to note, because this is very, very, very interesting. So here we are on the 5-minute chart, and on this is on Bitfinex, on how 6,400. There has been a hidden buy wall on 6,400 now for like 12 hours. For the last 12 hours. We have actually had a hidden buy wall placed at this level. Just want to make sure I got that right. Yeah, 12 hours. We've had this hidden buy wall placed at 6,400, and this guy, or this massive whale, has been wanting for some. Obviously, we don't know his reason. Does he? My two options are: does he know a positive decision of an ETF that's coming, or two, does he really want to accumulate enough coins here to, fueled with the a negative decision from the ETF, finally break this 5,800 support, and possibly, you know, like he's a banker that hates Bitcoin, or unlikely, but maybe he has he's one of these people with a really high short, and he wants to see this support break, and he's accumulated a lot of coins with this hidden, because it's definitely hidden. It's not showing on the order books, but he has got a hidden buy wall at 6,400, and he's been propping up the market now for 12 hours. So it's crazy. He actually had a hidden buy wall down here as well at 292, and he's obviously, we moved up, and he's put his hidden buy wall now at 6,400. It's strange. It is really, really strange to see this, but to know this whale is accumulating literally thousands of Bitcoin. So something's going on here. That's interesting, very interesting to see that happen. But with that said, let's take a quick look at the shorts to longs. This is the highest short to long ratio we've seen this year on Bitcoin. Obviously, with the longs being so, the longs have just been going down, and the shorts with this parabolic move up. This is the nearest, the highest. We're just about to hit an all-time high on the shorts. If the higher all-time high is 40,000 more or less, we're currently sitting at 39,000. But the ratio of long to shorts, obviously when we had all these shorts before, the longs were also just as high on 40,000, so about 1 to 1. Whereas now we're seeing very low shorts with very high shorts with very low longs. So the ratio is a lot bigger. There's a lot of shorts stacking up here, which just shows how bearish the market sentiment is, really, doesn't it? But with that said, if we do get a surprise decision and get a move up here, if we do get a surprise approval, all these shorts are going to be squeezed. The shorts are going to be squeezed, and we will see a nice violent move up. I'll be looking to see if this region here holds. Obviously, we've got our trend line coming down, so the most I would personally see us getting up to is 7,700 before we head back down. So that's the region I'd be looking at, between 7,700 and at max 8,400. Don't see us getting up here to form a double top. I would see us getting up to 7,700 though, but anything's possible really with the amount of shorts there are that would having to be closed with a heavy move up. It will be absolutely crazy. That's for sure. So yeah, basically just keep an eye on that decision. Just notice how tight these Bollinger Bands are getting. There's a big move coming, definitely. I hope you're all playing the right side of the trade, and with that, you just want to have your SEC Twitter notifications turned on. And I will personally tweet out the decision or retweet it as soon as I see it. My Twitter is in the description of this video. And with all that said, if you have any questions at all, you can just send me a private message or drop me a comment, and I'll be happy to help you. I hope that this video has been helpful. I know that I'm very new to doing these videos, and I love teaching, and I really do enjoy it. It's a passion of mine to know other people are learning from me and putting a smile on people's faces. I love it. but I know that I'm a very amateur and I want to improve and get better at this. So bear with me, and I'm sure in the future my videos are just going to increase in quality. Maybe I'll need some new equipment, we'll see. Yeah, thank you very much. Have a brilliant evening. I do expect the sideways movement to continue for the next few days, and then the big move coming. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy. Peace.